Okay, yo, it's Kenzie K. Wild 94.1. We have a special guest in the building, Carlos Mencia. Who did you vote for?
I don't vote.
You don't vote?
No, because I want to make fun of whoever wins. I don't want to be, because look, if you vote, then you become one of these people that only picks on one side and the other side's stupid and their side's great. I don't believe that. You know what I mean? I don't fall for that. I think everybody's good and bad, and I want to be able to make fun of them. If I voted for Trump, I would be defending him right now. If I voted for Hillary, I would be defending her. I didn't vote for any of them. This is what I thought about this election. They both had herpes, and now we got to have sex with one of them. That's what it feels like to me.
This is really bad.
That's what it feels like,
situation,
right? I feel icky. I feel like, oh, you have herpes, but she does too. Oh, I don't know. It's bad. It's the worst.
Okay, so I almost didn't recognize you when you walked in.
Right.
Because you're very skinny.
Oh, not that skinny, but...
You are kind of a skinny
I was
now.
thinner and I felt better, but everybody thought I had AIDS. That's not a joke. Seriously. I'm not kidding you.
What are you doing that everybody thought you had AIDS?
No, nothing. I was thin. I was about 15, 20 pounds thinner than this. And what happened was I would go on stage and people would say like, oh my God, this is the last time we're going to see him perform. I'm like, what? You're not a fan anymore? And they're like, no, you're dying, right? I'm like, what are you talking about? They thought I was sick.
You're like, I went from flour to corn tortillas.
Right.
That's it.
Well, because I went from, like, I lost 70 pounds, and that's too much for people to visually take.
Well, how does that hit your comedy, though? Is it kind of devastating when you lose too much weight? Doesn't that, like, severely affect comedy?
It does. It does because... when I was really fat, I could go on stage and be like, man, women are annoying. And chicks would be like, oh, poor guy, he's having issues with the women. When I was thin, I'd be like, man, women are annoying. Well, who do you think you are? Oh, wow. It was a whole different thing because there was no vulnerability there. So it wasn't accepted the same way.
But you do fat jokes, too, though. I feel like there's a lot of fat jokes you can make.
I guess, but I don't really like do them. I never really did them.
You like to offend other people, not yourself.
No, I don't care. I have no problem whatsoever making fun of myself. Like none. But it's just I don't see myself that way. Or not even then I didn't.
So your comedy has always been controversial, which I enjoy. I'm a controversial person.
I don't know why. I just tell truths that are funny. People just get offended.
People are easily offended. Have you ever been nervous to tell a certain joke? Has it ever been like, it's a little touchy right now?
Sometimes. But not, it's only because people aren't going to take it the right way. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'll give you an example.
Perfect.
Last week, right? When the guy shot the airport up.
Right.
The minute it came out that he was Latino, I got a bunch of phone calls from a bunch of friends of mine that are illegals. And they were like, please don't let him be one of us. I thought it was hysterical. I thought that was the one thing that they were thinking, that they were like we don't have it bad enough. This needs to be part of our repertoire. And so I was like, I don't know if I could talk about that going on stage like immediately. Because it sounds like you're ignoring the victims, which is not the case. It's more about the reaction to it. But sometimes you just gotta go with the flow. And here's the problem with comedy. When you're at the comedy show, I'm not worried about that because I can make you understand and feel that you're there. It's when it's taken out, that's when it gets bad. You know what I mean? It's the next day. Like tonight will be fine.
Right.
It's tomorrow morning when people go to work and they're like, man, Carlos did this joke about Puerto Ricans shooting up. And then people are going to be like, that is so insensitive. How can he do that? People are still on.
But ever since he lost that weight, he is such an asshole.
Exactly. That's it. That's exactly it. And so you have to find, like, you have to hope that people don't tell your jokes the wrong way, which they probably will.
This is true.
Because they don't remember them the right way.
And people hear what they want to hear. So they're insulted. That's what they're going to take.
Like, I don't do racist jokes. I never have. I do racial jokes, but I grew up around everybody. But here's the difference. You know, I've had people come up to me going, man, I feel the same way that you do about, whoa. No, dude. Whatever you thought you heard, that is not what I said. Because you could tell that he's about to say something really racist. It's like when people go, I'm not racist, you know? And then whatever they say after that is the most racist thing ever.
Like, I'm not racist. I don't like anybody who's not white. It's like,
Right, yeah, exactly like that. It's just a preference. That's the most yeah, it's that. Listen, I'm not racist, right? But let me tell you something about black women. Don't even say it. Whatever you're about to say is so racist.
And it's worse when it's a little bit funny because then you're smiling and they're like, he gets it. And you're like, no, that was just so outrageous. It was kind of funny.
Right. Well, it's only funny because every time somebody says something like that, you think of somebody that you know that fits that profile. That's why.
That's true. I can understand that. So,
right?
With being like, you got to be careful about some jokes.
You don't have to be careful. You just do what you do. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. I don't care anymore.
You don't care anymore?
No.
Is there ever a time that you did? Were you ever like, oh, I should not have said that?
There's only one joke I wish I could take back, but it wasn't even a joke, kind of. It was a joke about Selena in front of Selena's dad after she had been killed. But I don't regret what I said. I just wish I was a more mature human being than I was at the time.
Would have planned that one out.
Well, what happened was every Latino comic was going on stage for this Latino Laugh Festival thing, and they were making fun of white people. And I thought it was disgusting because when Howard Stern tried to do jokes about Selena, all the Latinos were like, oh, you can't do that. And like, look at what you're doing now. It's not, if you're going to make fun of others, you got to let them make fun of you. It's just that simple. And then somebody yelled out, but Selena's dead. And I went, well, then she's not going to complain, is she? And then her dad was right there and he was like, what? And I went, oh, man. But at the time, I was like, what? It's true. Like, yes, I was so defending it. Oh, man.
You stood by
I pulled out my sword and went, come to me. I was so bad. The cool thing was I got off stage and had an escort of police officers, and they were all African Americans and white guys. And they were like, dude, you're right. You're right. They're making fun of us. We can make fun of them, right? Even the black guy was like, man, we got to make fun of everybody, man. So we got you. We got you. He talked like that too, by the way. He was, yo, man, we got you, Carlos. You lucky I'm wearing a badge. No, he didn't talk like that. He did not talk like that.
You just went all the way racial with it. You went all the way to the side.
I did. I just wanted everybody to know what I was talking about.
How does your family feel about being part of stand-up? Like, is your wife like off limits when it comes to jokes?
No, but my family hates that I do jokes about them. But then I tell them, then stop asking me for money, and I'll stop doing jokes about you asking me for money. How about that? How about we go there? How about you not ask me for? How about you not put me on the spot? Because here's what my family does. Not all of them, but they don't call me like a month ahead of time and go, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make my mortgage payment in a month. Which if they did that, it would be cool because I would be like, okay, well, you could do this for me. You could do that for me. And I feel like they call me like they're going to repossess my house tomorrow. Like, seriously? Seriously? First of all, they don't repossess houses. That's the car. But like, you're going to call me that it's tomorrow?
So then you have no choice.
And then I'll be like, who else did you ask? Just to see if I was like their last option. Mm-hmm. And I'm never their last option. I'm always their first option, but at the end. And it just bothers me. So then I do jokes about it, like right now. And I have a brother that is stationed not too far from here who probably will hear this. And he'll call my sister and she'll call my other sister. And then my sister, who I actually made a mortgage payment for, is going to call me up all hurt, butthurt. I can't believe that you put it out there. And you even said Martha. You even said my name, Martha. Why would you say Martha so that everybody know it's Martha with a T and not an H? Why would you do that?
That is heavy, but you just got blasted.
But she did.
Call the station in a minute.
She's gonna call whatever. But they can't complain too much. Because if they complain enough, then they piss me off, and then the next time somebody is gonna repossess the house. Okay. See what I'm saying? You can only listen. You can only talk so much smack about the goose with that lays the golden egg. That's what it is. You can only go so far until I'm broke again. When I MC Hammer my career, then they could do it again. Then I'll be selling. These are the shoes that I wore during the show. These are the shoes that I wore when I missed going on with Orlando in the morning. How much will you give me for these shoes that I wore? They smell and everything. I wore them for real. Yeah. Until then, then they could talk smack.
So has there ever been a time where you've gotten in a fight with your wife and she's been like Like an hour later, like, can you not put that in your stand-up? Has there ever been that moment?
No, but I did do a joke about my kid and he saw it and we had to talk about it. Because he came to a show, but this is true. My kid is really feminine. He's a really feminine kid. And my friends were like, he's gay. And I was like, I don't care. And my friends were like, you really, you wouldn't care if your son turns gay? And I'm like, no, he's the one that's going to go down on guys, not me. Why would I care?
Oh, my God.
Right? Like when he has intimate moments with his sex partner, I don't feel it. It's not like Wi-Fi where if you're in the coverage zone, you get a feeling too. I mean, I don't care. Whatever he does, his life. I don't care. And so he heard that and he was like, Dad, what do you mean you can't feel it? Yeah, so it was a little rough trying to explain to him.
How old's your son?
10.
Okay, so he's definitely not coming out of the closet anytime soon.
Well, here's what happened. I started talking about that, and I started talking about sex, and then my wife's computer disappeared the other day, and we found it, and it was in a corner somewhere, and my son had grabbed it, opened it up, logged in as a guest, thinking that we wouldn't know. And he Googled naked women.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So, so maybe that was his way of going, who's gay, Dad? I don't know.
That or he likes drag. I don't know.
Maybe
that's what happened too.
Maybe that, you know what? I haven't talked to him about it yet, so I'm gonna be like, were you interested in them naked or clothed? And then I'll know if he's gay or not. Right, exactly. Well, I'm just gonna ask him. So, what did you notice, mijo? And see what he says. If he goes, "Oh my God, Dad, their hair was sparkly and flowy, and or wow, she had great shoes."
There you go. You'll see.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Not that I don't care. I don't care.
I want to know how you only have one child because
I have 11 sisters and 6 brothers.
I was just gonna say you're the 17th of 18 children.
My mother never had periods. She just had people.
Yeah. What the hell?
My mom doesn't know what a period is.
Well, like there's obviously like
every time she's bleeding, there's something in there. Whenever my mom was spotting, she had to go to the doctor. It was not for a tampon either.
Oh my God. Can you remember like everybody's name and birthday?
Yes.
Really?
Not birthday, but names, yes.
Names, yes?
Yeah.
How annoying was that when you wanted to name your own kid? Because like so many were ruled out.
Well, no, that wasn't it. The problem with my son was I had to find a name that my dad wasn't going to butcher because my dad has a thick accent.
Oh. So like what
I wanted to name my kid Sean. That's what I wanted to name. I can't because my dad would be calling him Chon. So I would have to go run names by my dad. Hey, Dad, what do you think about Chon? I like Chon. Chon's a nice name. Not going to do it.
No.
So I would just keep going through names. So Lucas is the same in English as in Spanish, pretty much. Lucas. So that's fine. Except I didn't realize that we were going to call him Luke. So when my dad says look at Luke, he sounds like he's saying Luke at Luke. So he goes, mijo, look at Luke. What? Look at Luke. Dude, Luke what? So his accent ruins everything.
It ruins everything.
It does. It ruins. I don't understand what he's saying half the time. When he texts me, I've shown him texts. You know how my dad spells the F word?
Oh.
FAHQ. Now say it in your head with a thick accent.
Like how he says it?
He says it phonetically. Fa, and then he puts a Q on it. There it is. I'm telling you. That's, this is my family. How could I not do jokes about that?
Well, you have to. That's fair game. That's not insulting.
No.
That's okay.
Oh, but you know what is fair game? And this we have to talk about. Only because it's here and I want to. I enjoy thoroughly, everybody on the show. Joe Coy, I like burgeoned his career. When nobody knew who he was, I brought him on tour on the Punisher tour. But here's the thing. He does a bunch of jokes about his mom and sleep apnea, and they're very funny, and I love the jokes.
Yes.
But the true story is he was on my bus when we were doing the Punisher tour. I walked by his bunk. I thought he was going to die. My brother had just done a sleep apnea test, and I knew what it was. And I told him, you have sleep apnea. That's why you're always tired and going to sleep. I paid for him to go to the doctor and get the sleep apnea test.
No way.
Ask him.
You discovered the whole sleep apnea.
For him, yeah. I paid for the doctor to do the test, to do the night test. So they found out he was sleep apnea. And that's when he got the CPAP. And now he's happy. So the jokes that he does about his mom, telling him they're beautiful and I love him, for the record, since there's so many stories out there about me being an a-hole, I just want to put it out there, the kind of guy that I truly am. And you can ask him if I paid for the doctor to diagnose him with sleep apnea to fix his ass.
We're asking
There
him
you
tonight.
go.
I'm bringing it up tonight.
Bring it up.
At the Mahaffey.
Yeah.
Shut up and laugh.
Bring it up.
We're talking about sleep apnea.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have one more question because
yeah.
I loved Mind of Mencia.
I would love to have sex with you, but just don't tell anybody.
Okay, I was going to ask you that tonight.
Okay.
I didn't know you're going to bring it up now.
Okay.
But
Sorry.
I'll see you tonight.
Okay.
But
Don't worry. Hey, you got my wallet, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, perfect. Because you're a gypsy. As long as he has my wallet,
I'm
we're
a
good.
gypsy. I can get his wallet too from him. Don't worry about it.
You know what? Give me my wallet. She'll get it from you way easier than she'll get it from me.
My booth, they gonna grab it. I see it.